Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl, Sophia, Spiritual Light, and we are here. I'm going to read a thread and provide some context to my live yesterday about the Led Zeppelin and some of the information that I came across to try and pull a few things together because it's kind of hard to explain it without some of this, backstory. So, this is a thread from Twitter, and I'll leave the link to this post if you guys want to follow along. So, here I say I found a wild Cymatics or Kemetic jewel-esque post on BoobTube under a Cop Circles video. And here's the post. It says, from a YouTube user, okay, this is going to sound off the wall to some people, but I think crop circles might be Earth Cymatics or Kemetics is how it's supposed to be pronounced, like as in Kemet. Okay, if you look up the geometric shapes and patterns that sound, resonance, frequency makes in things such as sand, water, salt, etc., then compare those patterns to the crop circles, then you will see the similarities are remarkable. I've been intensely studying the effects of sound on solid matter, and every day I continue to be amazed that this subject isn't discussed more than it is. I could totally be wrong, of course, but when you see how the matter is instantaneously mobilized into such perfect geometric patterns by the sound frequency, it would also explain how crop circles seem to appear so suddenly, the ones that aren't man-made, that is. I love hearing other people's thoughts and perspectives, so please respond, and whoever is out there and for some reason paying attention to this comment, okay? So, um, another user made a comment about the whole Led Zeppelin thing, not this one, but I just went ahead into this. So, and upon further inspection, out of the comments, something popped out. This crop circle could have fit between the tire tracks, but it didn't. Seems like they are trying to direct us back to the Led Zeppelin album, which does not fit in between the tire tracks. And what I'm saying there is basically the crop circle, which is going to come up in another post, so I'm not going to get it. The crop circle that was made on the 6th of April could fit in between, but this one right here on this Led Zeppelin album, this one could not fit in between. And as you can see, it's got this Zeppelin shape, which is also the shape of a whale over top of it. And some people could interpret it as a bomb, right? But to me, it looks like the whale shape. And we'll go over to Dutch Sense to see if we can pull that picture that he posted of the that little video that he posted of the cyclone. So, but as you can see, some of these symbols are also very similar to what is on the seals, the Solomon seals. I've drawn all of those out by hand, and so that is what this reminds me of, especially that big one on the top with the 3 prongs that looks kind of like a comb. It is a Hebrew letter, and a lot of these are in the Solomon seals. Anyway, we'll keep going. So the songs on this album have incredible names. And also notice on this cover that it's orange. So this happened on 4/6. The king was coronated on 5/6. And then we have that Agent Orange, situation in New York that happened right after that sonic boom somewhere around the 6th of June. So these things are not disconnected. Okay. All right, so let's look at some of these song titles. We have Communication Breakdown, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, Good Times, Bad Times, Dazed and Confused, Heartbreaker, Whole Lotta Love, Ramble On, Since I've Been Loving You, Celebration Day, Immigrant Song, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, This Song Remains the Same, Dire Maker, No Quarter, and Houses of the Holy. Okay. Here's 5 and 6. There's more. Trampled Underfoot, Cashmere, and Nobody's Fault But Mine, and Achilles' Last Stand, All My Love, and In the Evening. Those are the last songs. All right, so here's the crop circle. That's why I didn't go back and find it, because here's the one that's in question. As you can see, it has some of these same symbols if you were looking at it sideways, which I turned my phone, which I realized wouldn't help, it's definitely got those first two that are the same. This one right here with the half and half is different. And this one right here that's completely zeroed out, that's like this one, but this one has another piece on it and this one doesn't. So, well, actually, it's got four little pieces. So, as I mentioned, this could have fit in between those things. However, um, in order to make sure that we got, and see, look, it still has a line, a third line. Now, this is crazy. This one too has a third line, but the third line is kind of filled in, right? So it's got the two lines and the third line. And so that's just so people could perhaps make the connection. And, this would snap into those people, as I mentioned, of a certain age. They would recognize this, right? Okay. So then I go on into the location. So the location of this crop circle, this one right here from 4-6, is Basset, winter-born Basset, with a population of 159, very significant number. And its original master was listed on the Magna Carta. And then, of course, I have a link here to my video, Common Law Established by the Magna Carta, which the Magna Carta is the law that is good. Okay, so Winterbourne Manor was granted in 1194 to Alan Bassett, whose name appears in the Magna Carta as an advisor to the king. The manor was inherited in turn by his sons Gilbert, Fulk, later Bishop of London, Philip, Justicar of England. Philip's daughter Aileen married Hugh Le Despencer, first Baron Le Despencer, and thus the manor was inherited by her son Hugh Despencer, the elder advisor to Edward I. The manor reverted to the crown. The Wiltshire Victoria County history traces its later ownership. The present manor house, just north of the church, was built in brick in the late 18th century. Okay. All right. So, and of course, they have a parish church, which we see here with dainty pictures. Might those saints be in their original nature? So let's read a little bit about this church. There was a church by 1121 linked to the Lewes Priory. Fulk Bassett was rector from 1214 to 1239. The church was dedicated to St. Catherine in the 16th century, but was known as St. Peter's in 1848. Okay, this is, the hijack of the women, right? Okay, since 1904, the dedication has been to St. Catherine and St. Peter. The present parish church is a rebuilding from the 14th century. Only earlier features are the front of the church, from 12th century or early 13th, and a limestone grave slab of the 13th century. Pevsner writes the church has excellent decorated work. He notes that the Despensers were lords of the manor at the time, and that the north transept with its unusually dainty detail may have been in their chapel. The benefice was united with Berwick Bassett in 1929. Although parishes remain separate, Berwick Bassett is another city. The incumbent was to live at the Winterbourne Bassett Parsonage. The union was dissolved in 1951. The benefice was held in plurality with the Broad Hinton. In 1975, a team ministry was created for the area, and today the parish is a part of Upper Kennet Benefice along with 7 others around Averbury. Okay, so let's look at angel number 159. And this is talking about, of course, the subtle energy. So let's read this. Angel number 159 encourages you to hold positive expectations about changes you will be making, as these will prove to be beneficial for you in many years. Some aspects of your life are coming to an end, which makes way for auspicious new opportunities to enter. Trust the nudging of your intuition and take positive action towards living and fulfilling your divine purpose. Angel number 159 may be suggesting that you have a special bond with the animal and elemental kingdoms. Take time out to connect and communicate with your pets on the earth plane, as well as those in heaven, and trust that they are too being watched over by the angels. This relates to number 6. This is from Sacred Scribe Angel Numbers. I think it's a blog spot. This is the first part of that, which I'm not going to read all of this, but just know that angel, I'll read this middle one, promotes the conclusion of situations or phases in your life with new beginnings and opportunities presenting to you and doing things your own way. Okay, so Let's look at this. Not lost on me was that April 6th was 1 month before the crowning of the fake king. It was a full moon, and Jupiter was conjunct with the moon. And I couldn't make this up if I tried it. So here's the transits for April the 6th. And um, I'm going to look at that. Something happened. Here's the transits for April the 6th. And as you can see, the moon is conjunct with Jupiter at 20 degrees. We have the sun at 16 degrees. And this was also a full moon. Okay. And of course, here's the moon calendar so you can see April the 6th, the full moon. All right. So let me see if I have. Okay. So here are some of the comments. I'm just going to go through a few of these. Because somebody actually posted the person. They actually. Let me see. Hold on. I can find where the comments are. Here we go. The comments on Kemetic Jewel. And Cymatic is pronounced Kemetic. Kemetic, okay? This person say, I wonder if we listen to the crop circle, we hear the message as intended. Now, that's an idea. If crop circles are Kemetics, I wonder if a record can be made and listened to. That's how the communication is being transmitted, right? This person says you need to rediscover is a language you already know. This person, Alice of Pi, whom I absolutely love, says, can people understand my poetry? She writes a lot of haikus. It's the only language, do they take the time to decipher it? It's the only language I know how to speak in the messages I receive. How many people see crop circles? Only those that want to, right? And this was a great rabbit hole. Oh my gosh. A slight segue, but I'm sure that this signal was sent out by Carl Sagan. No doubt the response has been dismissed as fake by now. Back to crop circles, there is a self-portrait they were kind enough to provide posers. And this is a video, Kemetics and crop circles, from the Y channel, and I sent that out, and I highly recommend looking at this video. I mean, the person tries to debunk everything like they always do, but it's still not lost on me. So I just wanted to provide some context and also how I look into the subtle energies of things, because it's not obvious. I had to pull out, a lot of this information and try and make sense of it. And, I'm not saying I've made full sense of it, but something I just wanted to share with you all. So shalom until the next time.